Week
21.
T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice. I mean, listen, we talking about practice. Not a game, not a game, not a game. We talking about practice. Not a game, not a game.
Me. Bam. Me, man.
Not a game.
Slap that like she scored 30.
What are we even talking about, man? We talking about sports here.
Yay!
What's up?
Back in business.
We them boys. Making noise. Hey, we them boys.
Hey, first place in the division, baby. First place in the division.
What's up,
Like
boys?
that.
The beast of the East, boy.
Back for week 4. Back for week 4.
Back
For
for week 4.
for what
Glad to
week?
be back.
Week 4.
That's right, boy.
It's time to make some money. Trying to make some money this week.
Let's go.
Yes. Hey,
Get picture on that Gene. Yeah. What up?
Thursday night went well too, Roland. Speaking of time to
Yeah.
make some money.
Well,
Let's talk about it right here. We'll recap Thursday. Let's start off the show recapping Thursday. We gave out some props. Thursday night, Roland texted his in, got to us. Start off Boyd's receiving yards over. Boyd had a huge night. Boyd 9 catches, I believe 120 some yards. I don't think he got in the end zone, but he ate. Roland with Robinson, anytime TD. James Robinson ends up having a big game, 2 touchdowns.
Anything but receiving yards.
20-point fantasy performance, if I'm not mistaken. So the bar set for the running backs this week. Yeah, like you said, not many receiving yards or rushing and receiving, right, was the other prop. It didn't end up coming in. So 1-1 still, not bad. Ron comes in with Jamar Chase receiving yards over. Ron, he got there a little late. No,
He got the very fucking last catch. Cass, the last one that he got for the first down in the middle of the field on their last drive. Boom. Right in the middle, cuz.
Yeah, so it was nice. And then Burrow passing yards. I know you were talking about in the pocket like Burrow. Joe Burrow.
I'm in the pocket like Burrow.
Roland even, had commented, do I start Joe Burrow this week? Or who was your other option?
Ryan Tannehill. Tanny versus Burrow.
Yeah, Joe Burrow came in a big way. I mean, the Cincinnati
yeah.
Bengals escaped with a 3-point win at home. I know a lot of people's survivor pool picks might have been the Bengals. In the We Talking About Sports survivor pool pick, 2 people got through by picking the Bengals on Thursday night.
Hey, you get it out of the way on Thursday. You can chill on Sunday.
His prop was 249 because he threw for 348 and 2 tutties, no picks. Put up 22 fantasy points.
Joe Burrow is definitely looking like one of those guys, man.
Burrow.
Like he's going to be the next one to carry the torch for these young quarterbacks. And I liked his quote where he's like, "Just give me the ball and I'm gonna make it happen." So yeah, Joe Burrow's that guy.
I know we had talked about Dak and CMC as comeback players of the year. Would you consider Burrow as a comeback player of the year this year because of the injury?
Yeah,
You have to put him in that
I would
consideration.
consider him one. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if he's going to catch up to Dak. I mean, they are 3-1 right now. The Bengals, right? They're 3-1.
Yeah.
So they're putting together a little good record in a very tough division. Already got that division win over the Steelers out of the way with as well. So it's looking up for them as long as they could keep them standing.
They've
I
already
think this was a
solidified.
big price for us, considering we had them at the bottom of the AFC North.
Well, I was going to say they've already solidified that they're better than the Steelers.
Yeah.
So the Steelers are in 4th place in that
Facts.
division. So, yeah.
Yeah, but let's move on, guys. On to what do we got? What do we got? Oh, here we
Got
go.
the report.
Tim Smith.
Rolling Tim Smith,
Tim
Good morning,
Smith,
Dennis.
trades, Dr.
morning.
Saucy, get on it.
Man, I wear many hats here. One of them
Yes,
is
sir.
the weatherman, the Al Green. Wait, is it Al Green? I forget his name, or Al Roker. Excuse me.
The body.
There's rain across the board here. You got some rain in Buffalo, in Chicago. Pay attention to those totals there. I know the Chicago and Chicago and Detroit total was in the 40s, so be on the lookout for that. And then other than that, I mean, you got pretty much fair weather across the league, except for maybe that Steelers and Packers game, some light rain. And then maybe in that showdown in Foxborough, there might be some rain there between the Bucks and the Patriots. But really nothing of note here other than maybe that rain affecting the low totals across the board. Like I said, with the Bears and Lions, they already had a low total. The weather gets any worse, you can see that total shrink. But we're not really going to start seeing a lot of games affected by weather until we maybe get a little bit halfway through October into November. We start seeing that winter weather across the league, and then we'll start seeing a lot lower totals. But right now, everything's pretty standard. But yeah, be on the lookout.
Hey,
There
Roland,
it
so I'm
was.
looking at the Bills and Texans here. You got a little bit of a rain game. Ben, do you think that will slow the Texans offense anyway as far as covering that, what is it, 16.5 that they're projected?
I mean, we probably won't spend much time on that game, but it's supposed to be a lot of one-way traffic. First half line -10 Bills, full game line -16. I don't see Davis Mills, doing much. The Bills defense has been pretty stingy early on in the season. And, we're going to get to Brandon Cooks later, but, you could be thinking about sitting him possibly this week. So I expect it Bills I think that they cover, but, the Texans have been pretty scrappy. It's just on the road. Davis Mills, he's going to have to be throwing, and it's, the defense gets after it. So
Don't be nice to the X, cuz. Don't be nice to the X.
I'm saying that they're probably not going to cover 16-point spread. There's nothing nice about that.
Before we move on, bros, we got some boys kicking it with us tonight. How the boys doing?
Shout out the chat.
Shout out to Eddie. Eddie Martinez. Good morning, fellas. Gene, Bill. I know Jesse. I thought it says Bill. Jesse Hernandez, Jose Venegas, Rolly. Best sound one can hear is the pop of a can. So, and Wally Garza, let's fucking go. So let's continue, boys.
One more
Thanks
thing
for joining us.
The Cardinals and Rams game, that's going to be played in a dome. There's going to be a lot of points scored in that game, I think. So be on the lookout for that.
Yes, sir. Good point, Roland. I like that. Kyler Murray's going to go off for me again.
Let's move on to the injury report here, guys.
Damn.
Oh, it looks deep this week.
It's week 4.
Glorious.
Been played. The guys are gaining the Knicks and the Knacks. And we got Julio Jones and A.J. Brown out for the Titans. That's affected the total. I mean, the spread, the spread was at least -7.5 at one point for the Titans. I checked this morning. They're at -6 with all this updated injury news. So Julio Jones, A.J. Brown, big fantasy implications also. I know a lot of people spent second or third round picks on A.J. Brown, depending on the league that you had him in. So big miss for him to be out. Rob Gronkowski started the season on fire. He's out for that showdown against the Patriots. I had one of my friends mad, Joe. He's mad that Rob Gronkowski's not making the trip for the tribute.
He's not even making the trip.
He's not going to be making the trip. Yeah, he's staying in Tampa.
He must really be injured.
Yeah. Andy Dalton, he's out. So we're going to see some Justin Fields today. Whether or not that's a good or a bad thing, we'll talk about it later. But Justin Fields definitely showing some growing pains out there. We'll see how he does today against the Lions. Then we got Elijah Mitchell. He's out. Load up Trey Sermon if you got him. Quentin Nelson, he's out. Big injury for the Colts against the Dolphins. That offensive line was supposed to be one of their strengths, but he's going to find himself out. So we'll see if the Dolphins can take advantage of that. And closing out the outs with 2 receivers, we got Sterling Shepard and Chase Claypool, both out. So if you're owners of maybe you picked up Kadarius Toney, he's that rookie for the Giants. He might get some shine this week. Another Saquon Barkley game possibly with Sterling Shepard out. And I think Kenny Golladay is going to be playing. So look just for him to eat.
And just to add to that, I know you guys had asked me if I had any injury reports. Justin, I'm sorry. Don't get mad at me. No, but to your point, Roland, on Shepard being out, I believe Slayton's been out for a while.
Slayton too.
He will be out. So Slayton and Shepard are both out for the Giants, going to New Orleans and playing in that hostile environment, first game back. Also, a couple more injuries. The corners for Carolina today.
That's right.
DBs.
JC Horn, he broke his foot.
JC Horn and Justin Boris are both on the IR for Carolina. So if you're a boys fan like me, that's music to your ears. And we're going to get into that a little bit later when we touch the spreads. But
Good call out, Ron. Good call out.
Carolina
Good call out
defense,
of
man.
injuries.
I mean, what I do. This is what we do here. We're talking about sports, man.
We can't hold back. The worst thing you can do is hold back information. If you have the information, you got to throw it out.
Jerry.
That's what we're here for.
Yes, sir. Continue on, my man.
The last
Jerry,
one
you
that's
on the
out
Cowboys
here,
today?
hell yeah. The last one that we have out is Chase Claypool. So if you're a Deontay Johnson owner, this could be your day to have a big monster fantasy day. And then some game time decisions, some people that you got to be paying attention to, depending on whether or not they have a 12 o'clock start and you have your backup ready to go at 3, or if both of your backups are ready to go at 3. It's just stuff that you have to manage throughout the day. And it's these game time decisions. You got Dalvin Cook. He is expected to play. All news indicates that he is going to play today. So don't worry about him. Put Madison back on the bench if you have him. George Kittle. He is one that is completely up in the air right now. I had somebody call him George Brittle. I don't want to go that far and say that he's brittle, but
hey, he's an Iowa guy. He's usually pretty.
But
scrappy.
He's been racking up the injuries, though. He's been racking up the injuries.
He
as
does play
of late.
physical, though. Physical football.
He does. He's one of the most fun people to watch out there, but he has been racking up the injuries. And today, Shanahan has said he is no guarantee to play. So he is the definition of a game time decision. So if you have him, monitor his situation. If you have another tight end that you need to pick up on the waiver wire, I suggest you go and do it right now so you can be ready for the case that he does not play. But if he goes out and plays, you know he's going to play because he's one of those guys that they're not going to truck him out there and he's not going to do crap. He's going to go out there and he's going to play. So just be on the lookout for that. Then what's up, Ron?
No, go ahead.
You got Tyler Lockett. He had a crazy injury.
So it's because somebody made a sound, and I was like, well, wait. Like, go ahead.
Oh, shit. Tyler Lockett, he's expected to play. He had a crazy injury, or it looked like a crazy injury last week, but he avoided the big injury, and he's expected to play this week. Lamar Jackson, he's been out of practice these past couple of weeks. He really hasn't practiced too much, whether it's been COVID related or due to his back injury that he sustained. Surprisingly, they're saying that he got hurt when he did that little flip when he was showing off.
Yeah, but they ain't going to say it because he didn't get flagged.
Oh my gosh. And then let's see here. It's getting a little harder.
The comments in the way there, Justin.
Yeah, we got Antonio Gibson. He's expected to play with that shin injury. And he's been a big disappointment for fantasy owners. Hopefully he can get on the right track this week. Melvin Gordon expected to play. And most importantly here on this list, probably other than Dalvin Cook, is Jonathan Taylor, running back 1. The way he was drafted, he is expected to play this week against
running backs, cuz on the game time decision.
Car crash every carry. That's what they say.
Damn. Because Jerry's watching on YouTube, and we appreciate that, Jerry, because we're trying to get our YouTube subscribers up, and I think we're almost at 50. We were at 41 last week, and we went up to 49. So we're almost at that 50 piece. We're almost at that 50 cent Curtis Jackson. So if you guys can help us out with the YouTube subscriptions, man. But let's just touch on Jerry's question real quick. He says it's not fantasy related, but bottom line, is Cam Newton a Hall of Famer? Real quick, is Cam Newton a Hall of Famer? Jerry, here's our take. Real quick, boys. Is he? Yes or no? My opinion right now, real quick, no.
I don't think it's even. I really don't think it's debatable. I think it's a yes for sure.
Man, I'd have to look at his stats, but right now I would probably say no. I know he does have an MVP behind his name.
Many rookie records as well. Roland, he has MVP and rookie.
He's put up a lot of rushing stats for quarterbacks that we haven't seen before.
What does everybody in the chat box think? What does everybody in the chat box think? Put it in there. Yes or no?
2 years. That's my only thing. He's had a lot of injuries these last 3 years. Really hasn't had a lot of production. So I'm just going to say no.
Roland, no. Ben, yes. Me, no. Eddie Martinez, absolutely no. Rolly said we're not friends anymore because he's the biggest Cam Newton fan ever. Justin put the cherry on top.
I'm right on the fence on this one just because he does have that MVP season. He did make it to a Super Bowl. He does have a lot of rookie records.
Rookie of the year as well and MVP.
But then he's also had some bad seasons. I'm right on the fence. I do lean, if I would have to put something, because I don't want to just be on the fence, I do lean no.
Hell yeah.
At the moment.
Christopher, thank you for the subscription, man. Thank you.
What we can assure you, though, is Justin, that he's not first ballot.
Justin, yes or no? Yes or none of this on the fence stuff.
He's a no for me, and I can assure you that he's not first ballot.
Who his sculpture would be because of his hair and the fedora, bro. They're gonna put him in just off the strength of his sculpture.
Horrible move.
Jerry said no.
Horrible move.
What is that? Okay, so we're off with Jerry's question.
Well, let's get into some fantasy.
Let's do it. Jerry, thank you for subscribing. And there was your answer. Three no's to agree with you, and Ben's crazy ass saying yes. But
hey,
what was that?
Bull back up. Pull Bull's comment back up.
Bill or Bull?
Christopher,
thank you, man.
Hey, appreciate it, Chris.
Bull's back up. He traded Jonathan Taylor for Brandon Cooks. Is that a good or a bad move?
That's the definition of somebody who pressed the panic button.
Oh my God. Hey, Bill.
Hey,
Come on, that's Bill.
Hey, Bull. I think long term, it's a good trade. I think long term.
Who did Bull trade with?
Joe. I don't know who he traded with. I'm not sure who it was, but I think that long term, it's a decent trade. Me, as somebody who traded Jonathan Taylor week 1, I traded Jonathan Taylor week 1. We don't know what Bull's situation at running back looks like. Maybe he's a little deep at the position. But,
fair enough.
As far as where the guys were drafted in the draft, you're talking about Jonathan Taylor's 2nd or 3rd round guy, and you're trading him for Brandon Cook's 9th, 10th round. It doesn't – the optics of it really don't look well. If you look at production, Brandon Cooks has scored way more points than Jonathan Taylor this year.
Yeah.
But the running back position is just so slim. No, pull the robbery. So it was Joe T that got Jonathan Taylor.
Honestly, to me, that looks
at least we don't get any more weekly Brandon Cooks questions from Joe T, bro. All right?
I need to get a panic button here.
Guys, you know what? Since we're all kind of hyped right now and Joe T pulled the robbery, shall we, boys? Shall we not wait? Let's just get into the shot. Shot of the day, real quick.
We're gonna take a shot. We'll take a
shot. For the boys and all the subscribers and the 2 new subscribers that we got. Real quick. So everybody out there in the chat, put your cups up.
Just redacted.
Cheers.
No brown.
Yeah. Little Tito's.
To Joe T pulling that robbery.
Woo! Joe T, let's fucking go. Hell yeah, Joe T. That one was for you, cuz.
To Joe T pulling that robbery and not have to go behind bars.
All right, what's next? What we got next, boys?
More fantasy?
Fantasy. Fields over Lamar today due to injury and matchup.
No, go Lamar, man. I'm not ready to throw out Fields.
No Fields.
Yeah, same. You just got to count on Mr. Reliable and Fields and that offense. His coach is not helping him out. There's turmoil on the sidelines. There's turmoil in the locker room. I would definitely stick with Lamar, even though Denver's defense is good. We've said that they played teams that with a combined record of 0-9. Today's their first real test, and I think Lamar gives them that little, flat fantasy football hips action right there.
I mean, the spread's -1, so it's going to be competitive. It's going to be competitive, and if it's going to be competitive, it's going to be competitive because Lamar's going to keep him in it. So I think it's Lamar for damn sure also. But let's get into these questions for today's games. Yeah, with the first one we got Josh Dawson Knox, who's been
You're right, Wally. I'm about to die.
Against Houston, or Kyle Pitts against Washington. Kyle Pitts is a sexy name, guys.
Ooh, how sexy?
Sexy enough for Mark Garza to draft him in the 3rd round.
You said it, because I threw you the alley and you just because that was for Mark Garza right there.
Back in the day.
This is a good question. It's similar to what Ben was talking about with Jonathan Taylor and Brandon Cooks in terms of you got Cooks in the 9th or 10th, and you have Taylor, a 2nd round player. It's similar here. Knox probably not drafted by anybody. Pitts was drafted in the top 5 rounds. But for the sake of today, I'm going to back Kyle Pitts to have a bounce-back game. I'll go Pitts to have a bounce-back game.
Knox.
I think, yes, against Knox, exactly. But I like Washington's run defense. I'm not so sure about their pass coverage defense. So I like Pitts today.
I'm going Knox. It's a 17-point spread. The Bills team totals over 30 points. They're going to get in the end zone, and he's been getting in the end zone 2 out of the 3 weeks. Yeah. So I think you got to play Knox.
Definitely a guy I thought about picking up this week.
I mean, they're both projected about the same. Knox is projected at 10.25 fantasy points today, and Kyle Pitts is projected at 9.21. The only thing about Pitts, though, man, is week 1, 31 yards, week 2, 73, week 3, 35. But he hasn't gotten to the end zone. And that's kind of been the issue with Pitts, is that he's a good target. I mean, he's capable, but has he got into the end zone? And he hasn't. And as tight ends, we know that they are a little, or they can be touchdown dependent.
Yeah,
that's why Logan talked. Yeah,
position.
exactly. So Knox did have 49 and a tutty last week, and then he only had 17 in week 2, but he did have that touchdown. So it's kind of tough here. I would go with Knox just because Josh Allen's throwing them the rock,
Good point
and
right
that's
there.
always a plus. That's always a plus.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Allen is fucking MVP season, I would say, so far. So I would go with Knox over Pitts.
Justin?
I'm with you on that. Let's just move on. Knox, I don't think this is a question right now. We've seen Pitts hasn't been able to perform at the level we expected him to. Knox got Josh Allen. That alone is the X factor for me.
Give me Kyle Pitts.
Roland.
All right, Roland.
Yeah, but Roland is a Mike Taylor fan, so I don't know. Or what's Mike Davis? Sorry, yeah.
Just because I drafted him in like the 7th round. So I'll take him.
Diego says, who's the best buy low candidate on the running back trade market right now? Any name real quick that comes to y'all's mind as maybe a running back?
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor might be one.
That was a good buy low. And then the other one before last week, I kind of liked him to have a little bit of a comeback. After what I saw the first couple of weeks, I was encouraged with Saquon Barkley. I think Saquon was a good buy low, but he's already had a good game. And I think his usage is just going to be there. If he's healthy, he's going to be good for you in a PPR league to get over 15 points almost every game, in my opinion. So if you can get Saquon, the price might not be so high on him right now. So I would still go after him.
Justin, is Diego who's with my woes 2492? That's not Diego.
I don't know. That's just a random follower.
That's a Twitter follower.
Oh, my bad. I skipped over that one. Oh, my bad.
No. Well, no, you read the right question, but it came from with my woes 2492. So whoever that is, thank you for subscribing to us on and following us on Twitter. We appreciate that. Hey, I like that name though. With my woes,
he must be from Canada.
Getting followers all around the world, man.
Probably a Toronto boy.
With my woe things.
Do you have a buy low running back candidate, Ron?
Buy low running back candidate. Off the top of my head, I can't think of anybody right now. However, he's not an RB1, but he's on my chest. He plays for this team. Could you buy Tony Pollard low right now? Ben was on the Tony Pollard train. Ben was saying that.
I don't think that you can buy Tony Pollard that
buy
low.
Okay. Do you think?
I don't think you can buy Tony Pollard that low.
Do you consider? That's a good one, Jose. Gibson is a good buy low. I think that's a good one too.
But Gibson's on a lot of squads already. That I would assume.
But
or you're talking trade talk.
No, you're trying to trade buying low, Ron. You don't buy low on the waiver.
No sé.
Hey, what the pilas does?
Trade. Okay. Do you think anybody would sell him low? CMC.
Who? Oh.
Injuries hasn't really come through this year.
Because
he got drafted number 1.
Because they.
Why don't you ask Bull that question?
Yeah, Bull has a big CMC owner, and he hasn't sold yet, and I don't think he do because they didn't put him on the IR, they didn't put him on the pub list.
Good point.
So if they don't expect it to be too long term, I don't think that you panic, especially if you were a CMC owner that landed Chuba Hubbard.
Going back to the Barkley point, Eddie Tovar said Jose just traded for Barkley. So Jose's.
Real quick, can we get through this fantasy question because he did ask us a little bit earlier.
OBJ. For me.
So his question is: I need a flex. Brandon Ayuk, Michael Pittman, OBJ, or Tyson Williams.
OBJ is the number 1 option at receiver, tight end for the Cleveland. Minnesota's defense ain't that great, and those other guys. You got Debo with Ayuk, Pittman. The quarterback sucks, and Tyson. The backfield's more crowded than the damn. I don't even want to say it, bro.
Well, Tyson Williams is the only running back in Baltimore that's involved in the pass game. So that would be the only guy I would consider from there. But to answer the question,
it just activated Le'Veon Bell today, though.
That's true. I agree with Ben, though. I'll go OBJ here, just out of, there's nobody else for them to throw the ball to. The Vikings don't have a very good pass defense. My second choice here, though, would be Brandon Ayuk. I do think he has a good game this week.
That is the second choice.
Yeah.
Jerry, I'm going to give you the best answer, Jerry, here, okay? All right? It's Michael Pittman. That's why. Michael Pittman. Hey, his stats, he had 68 yards last week for 13 fantasy points. The week before, he blew up with 123 receiving yards for over 20 points. Week 1 in Seattle was kind of tough, but he's going into Miami today, and he's projected at 12 points. The reason that I don't like Ayuk is because he had an opportunity on Monday Night Football against the Packers, but Deebo Samuels was still there. We saw that they went to Kittle, and they still try to put in the running game. I don't like OBJ because has OBJ done
he had a decent week last week.
He had a decent week last week.
It's his second game now.
Right,
so.
I understand. Yeah, I understand that, but there's never really been. I mean, if we stop and we think about it, has there been that chemistry between OBJ and Mayfield since they've been together? Kind of, not really. You really can't count on it.
But there's no Jarvis Landry, Ron.
I understand that, but we have the two-headed monster in the backfield. And what do you think he is going to want to do?
I like OBJ here particularly well just because of what Ben said. He's the only target today. And OBJ fares well.
Hooper
he fares well against bad defenses. Like he's known to tear up like the Cowboys every time he plays them. The Vikings is another candidate for that. They got tore up last week by DK Metcalf. I think it's going to continue with OBJ. I would go OBJ here, Jerry.
Hooper, the tight end, just got a tutty last week for Cleveland, and he's a nice little security blanket. And he's a security blanket. So I just think that OBJ might give you the big play today. I'm not going to say he's not going to have
We'll come back to this one next show.
Look, okay, OBJ and Pittman are a wash to me. I would go Pittman, but yes, we'll come back to it.
All right, let's get to Diego. Diego here says a flex. Clyde Edwards-Helaire or Chris Godwin? We see that Rob Gronkowski's out. I don't think there's much debate. I think it's Godwin as well. Most leagues nowadays are PPR. I don't know how old school you are, Diego. You're a millennial.
Diego plays standard league, though.
He does play one standard league, though. But I think regardless, it's Godwin. Brady's going to want to put on a show, and I think you got to go Godwin there. Anybody else? Was you wrong? What do you think, Godwin?
I was looking. I
like Godwin.
I had some notes. Ron, Godwin or Helaire, Ron? It's not that hard. Hilaire's another candidate for buy low running.
Hold on.
He hasn't done shit.
Hold on.
Hey, Ron, you took that shot.
The Chiefs haven't figured out how to answer that correctly.
Ron, you took that shot and it threw you off.
Hold on. I'm coughing. I'm coughing because Clyde Edwards-Helaire does the same thing. He coughs up those fumbles, dog. That's why I wouldn't go with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I would go. Yes,
I would. Corona. I thought you had Corona. I was like, what is this
We can't say that word. We can't say that word. We're going to get canceled.
Watch. I would go with Godwin because today, when the Bucs face the Pats, the Pats have a good defense, but it's more like of a running defense, and Tom Brady's going to pick them apart. He's going to go into New England and want to prove that he's the man there, just like you said. Gronk's out. I would go with Godwin because the focus is going to be on Evans, and Godwin's going to be there, man.
Rick, moving on. Taylor or Brown? Rick, I think we need some clarification on these guys.
Man, I think he means Antonio Brown or Jonathan Taylor. Antonio Brown. That's what I'm thinking right there. Another for Diego, he says season long Aaron Rodgers or Matt Stafford. I mean, it's looking like the Rams, right? They're open to air it out.
Stafford, man.
McVay's saying, hey, we traded all of this shit. We traded all these first round picks for Stafford. He's in the MVP race.
And it was one of those things where McVay too, like his whole excuse these past few years is like, I have handcuffs on me because I have Jared Goff, so now that the handcuffs are gone, you got your guy Matt Stafford, and we're seeing it. And I will be the first to say in our group chats, we have a friend who's a big Rams fan. He was calling for Matt Stafford to be a top 5 quarterback, top 10 fantasy quarterback, and I laughed at him. And I think I might be wrong because
we always laugh at him.
Yeah, I know, but still, I got to give it to him here. I think Matt Stafford will be an MVP candidate, and I think he is going to be a top 5, top 7-ish fantasy quarterback because it looks like that's all McVay was missing, man, to open up the offense.
Roland, I'll tell you what, he looks like a diamond in the rough, Roland.
He does,
He looks like a diamond in the rough, Roland.
Cálmate, Aladdin.
Hey, Ron, if you know, you know, Ron.
I know.
If you know, you know. He looks like a diamond in the rough.
He looks like a diamond in the rough. No, I would go.
Don't get me started again, bro. Don't get me started.
How can you not? How do you go against Aaron Rodgers here, right? How do you go against Aaron Rodgers
right?
here?
Reigning
MVP. But I would go with Stafford. Reason being is because of the backfield. They rely more on Stafford's arm and the receivers in LA. That's why Cooper Kupp is having breakfast with Matt Stafford, just like Ben said. Nobody else is having breakfast with him. So I think the passing game is bigger, dare I say that, in LA, even with
not even close.
Even with Adams in Green Bay. But you have a back in Aaron Jones who you have to feed in Green Bay because he's tearing shit up. Hell yeah, because he's tearing shit up. So just the fact that I think they rely more on Stafford's arm, then I would go, Diego, to answer your question with Stafford.
And Stafford being a guy who you could have gotten late in drafts, 9th, 10th, 11th round or later. So, yeah, Jose, we were mentioning, Roland was mentioning how he was talking about buy low on Saquon last week, and then you ended up trading for him. So, you get a thumbs up from Roland, bro. Bull gets a thumbs down today from Roland.
Bill asked, what league is Ron in? I want his money. Is this coming from the guy that's 0-3?
He's 0-3 in our home league. But Ron is in the Madero League, and Ron's also in our fantasy football podcast league.
3-0, baby, in the Madero League. The Madero League ain't shit on me. I got like 600 points, cuz.
Let's hit this trade question, and we got some comments for start sits to get to.
Yeah, keep us, Justin Rowland, keep it, keep us online here.
Frito Bang, he's got a question over here.
Frito Bang?
Fredo.
Like that.
It looks like Fredo.
What is it, Justin? Can you read it for me?
Another NFL.
It just says, what should my lineup be? Also got a trade for Chubb, Hunt, AJ Brown for Gibson, Carson, and Chase. I already got my answer. Just want to know yours as well.
Well, let's just talk about his trade because can't nobody see his whole lineup.
I can give you his lineup if you want.
We can just talk about the trade.
Yeah, let's hit up the trade.
The trade's juicy enough. The trade, it has some big names in the trade. So the trade says got a trade for Chubb, Hunt, and AJ Brown. It seems like he's the Chubb and Hunt and AJ Brown owner. Obviously, he probably doesn't start both Chubb and Hunt. For Gibson, Carson, and Chase. He
has Gibson. He has Chase.
Oh, he has those guys?
He has Gibson, he has Chase, and he has Carson. They're on his starting roster right now.
Okay, so he's getting the trade for Chubb, a hurt AJ Brown,
keep it.
Kareem Hunt. I would keep my guys.
Yeah, keep Gibson, Carson, and Chase. Obviously, maybe he didn't know that AJ Brown was hurt before this trade went through, but AJ Brown's not 100%, and even then, he hasn't done shit in the first 3 weeks. 2 running backs on the same team, just like Ben touched on, you're not going to want to do that. Gibson is solid enough. Carson's still the RB1. They like to run the ball in Seattle, and as we know, Chase has been going off his last game. So if I'm the Gibson, Carson, and Chase owner, I'm keeping those players. I ain't giving them up for anybody.
And we even commented there, I like the 3 players you're giving up in that trade. So
there we go.
Roland, what do you think about this?
I think he came out on top. I agree with you. I like Gibson, Carson, and Chase. I'm big on Jamar Chase this year. I think he's only going to go up from this point. He seems to already be one of Burrow's favorite targets. I know we talked about Boyd eating this last week. I think that continues, but there's no reason why Jamar Chase can't continue to eat either. And then Gibson, he's a guy that was a buy low, but you're buying him pretty much at the lowest you can get him, and his trajectory is only up from here. So, yeah, I like that trade a lot for whoever got those last 3.
Justin, sorry. What you got?
No, just keep your guys, man. Don't do this trade. It doesn't make sense. I like the guys you already have. I like the lineup you already have.
And I'll just ask y'all, just to close out the fantasy segment, if you all had Chubb and Hunt, would you all start both of them? Would you start Chubb at RB1 and would you flex Hunt? Or would you not even put yourself in that situation? How are you all dealing with that situation? Is that a handcuff that you need to have or not?
Well, Hunt is a flex by himself. He's a flex RB2-ish kind of guy
with
by
his
himself.
10 touches. With his 10 touches.
So because he makes the most of them in the PPR leagues. Most of those touches are either catches, and he gets some yards after the catch on a lot of those. And he's a good candidate to hit the end zone just based on the way the Browns run their offense. They truly do, and they're one of the last old school offenses in the league right now. They utilize that 2-headed monster. To answer your first question, Ben, I wouldn't be opposed to starting both of those guys. You lock up all the points and you lock up all the points in that Cleveland Browns backfield. You know you're going to get all the points from that backfield. And it's been a productive backfield. It's probably not the most, standard thing to do, or it's a little unorthodox. Excuse me, that's the word I was looking for. But yeah, I would do it if you have the option to, depending who your other running backs might be. That's not a bad option to go with.
Man, dude, I love everything that you just said right there, Roland, because that's a really, really good point. Hunt did have 27.5 fantasy points last week against Chicago. He had 81 rushing yards and a touchdown and 74 receiving yards. Week 1, he had 17 fantasy points with 28 receiving yards, 33 rushing yards, and a touchdown. Even week 2 against Houston, he didn't do great. He only had 6 points, but he could be your flex option opposed to some wide receiver 2s out there you might insert as your flex. So just like you said, you wrap up all the points anytime that the Cleveland Browns are gonna rush the ball, which is what they do often. And other than that, bro, I'm loving the fucking comments in here, boys. Diego, Mark,
well, let's get to the
Jared,
comments.
you guys are Carla was in here as well. We loving the interaction. Thank you for the interaction.
Let's go through them real quick. We got Taylor Gibson or Carson. Just a quick answer.
Gibson.
I'll go Gibson here too.
Put up Carla's. Ron said that
Carla had a good question.
It's because I'm scrolled up. I have to pull these up real fast.
Nah.
Damn, somebody traded Derrick Henry? Wow. And Justin Jefferson?
No.
Here's another fantasy question. Hines put it up for the flex real quick.
I go Hines here.
I'm going Cordell Patterson.
I'm going Cordell Patterson because Hines is just. We unfortunately said he's a fucking set it and forget it. But shit, after the last couple weeks, man, he might be a just forget him at all. Put him on the bench.
He's been doing decent.
He has been doing decent, but over Cordell Patterson, OBJ all day, nah.
Here, let me see if I can find Carla's comment.
Yeah, we just need fantasy questions put up here right now.
It's all right. Everybody wants to see their questions. Bridge making an appearance. Your boy.
Should I flex Gibson or Zach Moss?
Okay, here we go. This is a good question right here.
All right.
Antonio Gibson's a guy that you spent high draft capital on. Probably was your RB1 or RB2, second or third round pick. And then you got Zach Moss, a guy who might not even have been rostered because most people were drafting Devin Singletary. But Zach Moss has had back-to-back weeks, double-digit fantasy points. He's found the end zone, 17-point spread today. You got to think if they get in the red zone, Zach Moss is going to get in. Little preview to our must-starts of the week, but I got Zach Moss here. And I'm an owner of both guys, but I would go Zach Moss.
Ben, just to add to you, he had 15 points in week 2. He had 18 points in week 3. He had a receiving touchdown in week 3 and two rushing touchdowns in week 2. However, week 1 he did put up 0 fantasy points. He has a matchup.
He was inactive week 1. He didn't play.
Okay, there you go. Then perfect. So he's active today at home versus Houston.
I would load up Zach Moss in this situation. I liked what I saw from him last week. He's good catching the ball out of the backfield. He's a solid runner. You can hardly get him down on first contact. And like Ben said, if they get in the red zone, they're going to go with him. They have that high spread of 16, 17 points, depending on where you're looking at it. But I think that benefits the running backs in that situation. You could see the Bills getting a little bit of a lead and just pounding the rock. And I think Zach Moss is going to accumulate some good rushing yards here.
And I would maybe even start both of those guys. Maybe you can just flex Moss and start Gibson.
If he's and also just fantasy, just depth wise, if he's listed as your running back 2 and they have a big lead, do you think that he gets on the field more than Singletary because Singletary is the RB1? You could also see that too. It's just him being more on the field.
But it's not so much of a description of RB1 and RB2. The coach has just said whoever's hot, that's who we're rolling.
Yeah, they go the hot hand.
And right now, the hot hand is clearly Zach Moss because he's gotten in the end zone back-to-back weeks. So I would say possibly start both guys and flex Moss, but I would go Moss over Gibson if you had a better wide receiver in the flex. Carla's question. I need to fill my flex position. OBJ, Juju, or Lockett? Ron, who sits out?
First of all, Juju. I don't even know. Carla, you're a better fantasy football player than that. Shame on you. Shame on you, Carla.
Carla getting a scolding.
She's getting a scolding.
Maybe she likes his TikToks, man. Maybe she likes the TikToks.
I don't know. Anyway,
Carla does have TikTok on her phone.
Juju is out. To me, this question is between Lockett and OBJ. The guys here are really high on OBJ. I don't think so. I would go with Lockett. There's a lot of love, Carlos. in the sports betting world today for Seattle. They say that Lockett and DK are going to have a big game, and I think that they do. And I would go with Lockett. The only thing is he's a little banged up, but I would still go with Lockett because he still has that connection over with Russ. That's my answer, Lockett.
I'm just going to stay true. I'm just going to say, and I have Lockett. Lockett's my guy this year. I wanted to get him in a lot of leagues. I have him in my main league. But the whole fact that he only logged one limited practice this week kind of scares me.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna go with OBJ here. I'm gonna go with OBJ against a weak Vikings defense. He's the only option there, like we were talking about earlier. So load up Odell Beckham. If he does you dirty this week, you already know what to do the rest of the
Carla's pretty loyal to OBJ too. She's been drafting him since
Facts.
2015 every year.
Facts.
So Carla, I agree. Load up OBJ. Listen, Lockett has his big games, and then he goes and hides, and then he'll pop up 5 weeks later and have another 30-point game. Metcalf got going last week. It looks like Metcalf is going to, I think that Metcalf's going to have a big game today. I would load up OBJ. You even mentioned that he's a little banged up, didn't practice. When OBJ's healthy and the only option, I think you need to play him. I'd go OBJ.
All right, moving on to Diego's question.
Hey, Justin, you got to answer Carl's question.
We got to go for time. Since you guys say to go with Godwin as flex, what about Henderson or Hilaire for running back 2? Henderson coming off a run injury.
That's a good one right there. Roland, what you got?
Give me Henderson. I'm a little biased. I have him in some leagues. I know that rib injury is a little scary, but I think it's optimistic. You can have a reason for optimism, the fact that he didn't sit out more than just last week. And I think last week was a little bit more out of caution. He should be ready to go this week. The Rams have a solid run offense. They got that good running scheme. Give me Darrell Henderson. I'm not a Hilaire guy anymore. I drafted Hilaire last year. He did me wrong. He's been doing guys wrong this year so far. So I'm going to let Hilaire pop off before I hop back on that train.
He did it. He got in the end zone last week, even though he fumbled, but he did get in the end zone. Yeah. Run. You like Hilaire? I mean, 2 high-powered offenses.
Yeah.
But one has just been a little more efficient in the early going of this season. Who do you got?
I'm going to go with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. The only reason being is that I think KC steps it up big today, man. They come out, they put up shingles of fucking points. I think they're on a mission to prove all the doubters wrong, like you overreacting to them, that they're stuck at the bottom of the division.
Well, no,
yes, that's why you're smiling, boy, because you're wrong, boy. You wrong, boy. You wrong. So Casey's going to come out big today. I think Helaire plays a pivotal role in them scoring a lot of points. He's heard all the bullshit, all the jokes about him fumbling. So I think he steps it up.
You're one of the jokes. You had a joke.
You're fucking calling away or what? Huh?
That was a joke to myself. So he's going to prove me wrong today. And also Darrell Henderson. I mean, he's not even listed as active. I mean, he's listed as questionable. So
he's going to play. He's
going to play, but he is listed as questionable.
I'm going to go with Henderson as well. I think that they both are high-powered offenses, but the Rams mix it up a little bit more.
Too much for your liking?
They mix it up a little bit more as far as giving the running backs their share and the wide receivers. We've seen, Cook Woods being non-existent. It's either Cooper Kupp or
nobody.
Tyler Higbee.
Or the backfield. Henderson had a good week 1. I think he even played week 2 and was decent. Didn't play last week, but I like Henderson to see the end zone this week as well. On Hilaire, I think that's another buy low guy if you're still a believer, but I'm out on Hilaire.
What do you agree with, Carla? She said, yeah, Roland, hush, Ron. So obviously,
she agrees with OBJ. Not Lockett. She's a big OBJ fan.
Carla,
ponle casa.
She's in here every live show. I see her comments.
On Sundays, Carla's always in here. Hell yeah.
Shout out, Carla.
Does that wrap up fantasy?
No,
Tyler Lockett or DJ Moore?
We got more.
Last one right here.
Tyler
Lockett or DJ Moore? Is your boy Diggs gonna lock up DJ Moore, or is Tyler Lockett gonna get his? Bro?
Is it? Oh, go ahead, Roland.
Man, this is a tough one for me. I don't know how the Cowboys operate as far as Diggs following guys, but man, I like DJ Moore here. I'm playing a little safe with Tyler Lockett just because of the injury. He hasn't practiced all week. I got really scared with the injury last week. I thought it was a lot more serious than it was. So give me DJ Moore. DJ Moore's already looked like he's righting some of the wrongs that he's had previously with not being able to find the end zone. He's finding the end zone this year. Give me DJ Moore. He's their best target by far. I'll go DJ Moore over Lockett today.
All right. Ron, Lockett.
Bruh, what's 4 + 3? 7. Trayvon Diggs, boy, he's shutting everybody down because he's the real deal. He's stepping up. He's carrying that momentum. There's no CMC. So you know that everybody knows that Carolina's going to go for DJ Moore. They're going to say, hey, Trayvon, go shut him down, boy. And we'll throw you a safety. We'll throw you a safety over the top for help because Carolina has nobody else. Somebody said that Robbie Anderson goes off today. I think that was Mark, but he's a noodlehead too because that Cowboys defense is going to come out strong. Carolina isn't going to do much today. I would clearly go with Tyler Lockett because that's it. That's the answer right there.
Cowboys defense is the talk of the town right now.
Hey, Ron,
Tyler Lockett over DJ Moore.
Ron, we'll end it with I just wish you were my math teacher because if they're asking me what's 3 + 4, shit, I'm acing that all day.
Hey, that's all I throw.
Ron, what's 3 + 4? I'm like 7.
That's all I throw at the craps table. That's all that comes at the craps table, cuz. Oh, 4-3.
7-11.
Oh, well.
Let's get to some plays. Let's get to today's
action. Let's do
We
it.
actually got the must start of the week.
Okay, must starts. So,
hey, hold up. Okay, go ahead.
Dustin, give us your must start of the week.
All right, Najee Harris. If you're in a PPR league, you got to look his way. 22 targets last week. He didn't get a lot of yards receiving either way, but he's Big Ben's check down safety blanket. You got to look his way this week if you're in a PPR league, just because you're getting those points.
Same thing here. Kamara, not much to talk about really. PPR leagues, you got to start him. He drafted him top 5. He's going to get his against the Giants. He's been steady this week or this season so far. He hasn't really had one of his patented 30, 40-point games.
He had a 5-point game.
I think this changes this week. He's going to find the end zone 2 or 3 times. Give me Kamara versus the Giants.
Oh, Roland, I like what I'm hearing. This is a game 2 against the Giants.
Yeah.
And for me, Zach Moss, for sure, he's going to get in the end zone once, possibly twice this week. It should be one-way traffic against the Texans. Zach Moss, if you got him, flex him, RB2. Whatever you do, play Zach Moss.
Hold up. Just for the record, y'all asked me, who's your sleeper of the week? And I said Zach Wilson, the quarterback. And then Justin puts him as a must start of the week.
No, we said, Ron, this isn't a sleeper. And you were like, nah, I'll still give you a sleeper. It's better for fucking content. That's what happened right there. Yeah, that's exactly what Ron, go and die on your Zach Wilson hill. Go ahead.
You know what? I ain't going to die on my Zach Wilson hill. You know why? Because the Jets are 4-1 against the spread as home dogs. They're 8-2 versus Tennessee overall. And Tennessee is 6-20 versus bad teams, bro. That's why. Zach Wilson's going to eat. Tennessee ain't going to do shit today, bro. They're going to rely on Derrick Henry a lot. And don't sleep.
As long as they win.
Don't sleep on the Jets defense, bro. They're ranked 17th overall, and they're ranked 11th versus the rush. So
they ain't played Derrick Henry yet.
I know they haven't played Derrick Henry yet, but they're going to get a lot of opportunities. And that Tennessee defense isn't as great as everybody says. Zach Wilson is must. Can you cross start out and just put sleeper? Because he's the sleeper of the week. My boy from BYU with the Jordan headband is going to show out, boy.
All right, sleeper of the week, Zach Wilson. I think if he gets 2 touchdowns, you're good. That is a sleeper of the week start. That's a stream. Let's get over to the guys you got to bench.
Jets for the upset. Yes, sir, Gran Galan. That's my boy right there.
Hey, some guys, bench warmers of the week. I think that Brandon Cooks, I know that I've been a big supporter of Brandon Cooks. You got to flex him, start him this week against the Bills. He's all the Texans got. I think the Bills understand that. I think the game plan is going to be stop Brandon Cooks and let the other guys that nobody knows about try and make a name for themselves today. So I'm putting Brandon Cooks on the bench today.
All right.
Ryan Tannehill.
Ryan Tannehill, that just makes sense to fade him this week. You got 2 receivers, wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, A.J. Brown, Julio Jones out. You expect a heavy run game from Derrick Henry. Fade Ryan Tannehill this week.
Same. I like that, Justin. And I actually benched him. We asked on Thursday, Ryan Tannehill versus Joe Burrow. Took y'all's advice on Joe Burrow. Looking good. Mike Davis, I'm benching him against the Washington football team. He's usually slotted in that running back 2 to flex position. He is in a little bit of a weird position with Cordell Patterson. I still think he's out-touching Patterson, but it's more like it's like 52, 48%. It's not that much of a difference. And Washington football team has a strong run defense. So sit Mike Davis. I don't think he's gotten double digits each week in PPR, but I think that stops this week.
All right. DJ Moore, baby.
7 reasons why to bench DJ Moore.
7 reasons. 7 reasons. Your boy from Alabama. That's what we do. We shut people down, boy. Your boy from Alabama, Trayvon Diggs, is going to shut down DJ Moore. Like I said, the Dallas defense overall is going to be in the quarterback's face. Micah Parsons is going to have a big game. It's just all defense. Defensive rookie of the year, just like my boy Roland said. DJ Moore, not a bench warmer, I would say, but
below average week this week.
Below average week. If it's a starter sitting between him and somebody else, some of the other receivers that we talked about, I would sit DJ Moore clearly because he ain't gonna do nothing. Parsons is a stud. Diggs doesn't travel.
That's what I thought. I haven't seen Diggs travel across the field for the receiver matchup all year. That's why.
He's saying that Diggs might not be shadowing.
Diggs stays on one side.
DJ Moore.
Jose Venegas was the same guy asking us if he should start his own.
Keep in mind,
his own receiver and lock it too.
Damn, Jose, you got
Dan
Quinn for that.
Dan Quinn, former coach of the Legion of Boom. He was the defensive coordinator for the Legion of Boom. Richard Sherman did not travel. He was the number 1 corner there the whole time. He stayed on his side. I think we're seeing some of the same with Stephon Diggs. He's the number 1 corner, but he's going to stay on his side.
Trayvon.
Yeah, Trayvon. Yeah, Trayvon. My bad. I said Stephon. Yeah, Trayvon.
All right, let's get to
bets.
Hold up. Betting segment, you know what it is. Come on, boys. You know what it is.
I don't have another shot, but I'll cheers to you.
All right, boys. Justin, where you at? Next time we need you on this.
Hey, it's the Lord's Day for me, Ron.
It's the Lord's Day for me.
We do the podcast from 10 to 11 so Justin can get to Our Lady of Guadalupe by noon.
Hey,
wherever he may attend church.
Hey, to Father Roy. Hey, he's the one who's gonna marry me. So.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah, Ron! Nice. He's the one that's gonna marry you. Fucking
yes, sir. November 26th, Father Roy. And the perros, man.
You have to talk about the Cowboys defense in a positive manner, considering they are leading in turnovers right now.
Yes, we are talking about them.
Is that luck or are they that good?
Gran Galan. Hey, this guy's a number 1 fucking Cowboys hater. So for that to come out of his mouth is, bro, like you ain't never gonna see that shit ever again.
All that we have to say is that they're better than they were last year. That's all I'm gonna say.
He's asking a question,
Ron. Oh, never mind. He's being sarcastic.
Yeah, it looks like he's asking a question.
We are talking about them in a positive manner.
Bro. We have to give him the pass there.
We are talking about them in a positive manner, though. We are. Yeah, we are.
Look at how their pass rushes performed. Their secondary is much improved, and a lot of it, I'll tell you the truth. Last year, the defense just looked so confused. There were so many blown assignments. So many guys wide open with nobody around him for 20 yards, just streaming down the field. A lot of it was confusion. A lot of people weren't buying into the defense. You got a guy in Dan Quinn now that just has them organized. Organization is half the battle in the NFL. As long as you're organized, you're going to have a chance, man. That's all that we were saying coming into this year. The Cowboys, all they had to do was just have a defense that doesn't give up 50. And look, we got a defense that doesn't give up 50. So,
bro, I love that. Hey, bring up Father Roy and Roland starts preaching, boy. Bring up Father Roy and Roland starts preaching on the show. I love it.
All right, let's get into our survivor pick.
Shut up, Marky.
Let me give a speech at your wedding, Ron. I'll do it.
Hey,
go. Survivor pool. Go ahead.
Pick. Yeah, so I'll just frame this a little bit for the survivor pick. Obviously, what we've used. The teams that we've used, boys. Justin, do you know it off the top of your head, or you don't know it off the top of your head?
Off the top,
the Browns,
the Washington football team.
I'm about to look it up.
Damn it, boy. Well, today we're going with the Saints. The most popular pick for the survivor pool is the Buffalo Bills with that -16, -17 point spread. I mean, for us. Just kind of maybe wanted to save the Bills, not be with.
They have a few weaker matchups later on.
Right, they're in the division with the Patriots, with the Dolphins, and with the Jets, which is kind of a weak division to their standards. So we're going to sit this one out. Maybe the Bills get upset today. Shit, I wouldn't even be mad at it because I know that it's going to take out like 7 people in the survivor pool at least that are going to be playing with us. So for us, we ended up going with the Saints. The Saints, like Ron mentioned, first game back inside the dome since the hurricane. We know that they had been playing their home games, I believe, in Florida or in Jacksonville. Yeah, so they're back in New Orleans. They're up against the 0-3 Giants. We, as a podcast, took the Giants team total under 7.5. Didn't have high expectations for the Giants. And I think here, guys, we just expect, the Saints to control the game and, have their way with the Giants for the most part, in my opinion.
Yes.
Hey, Wally, let them know. Wally.
Saints got a pretty high spread. When you're doing these survivor pools, you want to bet the teams with the higher spreads. You don't want to, pick anything that's considered a pick 'em or anything. So the Saints, they opened up at -8. They're like -7, -7.5 in all the markets right now. Safe pick, a weak opponent against the Giants. Like Ron highlighted earlier in the podcast, the first game back in New Orleans, the house is going to be bumping. It's going to be loud. Daniel Jones is going to turn the ball over a couple times against that Saints defense. Give me the Saints here. And like Ben said, the reasons why we didn't take the Bills and some other teams are because in the survivor pool, the longer you go, you just need to make your optimal picks. You need to take advantage of teams that, for example, the Bills, they have a lot. They have about 2 or 3 other matchups down the line that are probably a little bit more optimal for us to take later on in the year. So when people have already used the Bills, we still got the Bills in our back pocket. So hopefully we're playing it smart right now. Hopefully it doesn't bite us in the butt, but I like the Saints here.
Definitely, man. Justin, anything you got to say before I go to my New Orleans, to my new survivor pick?
Just an update on who we have picked. It's Rams first week, Browns second week, and Panthers third week.
Yep.
I
like all of those picks.
The reason that I'm clearly going with New Orleans as well is that the New York Giants lost their linebacker. They're down to their 4th string guard as well on an offensive line that's already ass. So they have no Slayton. They have no Shepard. There's really no offensive weapons. Yeah, it's just Kenny G and Saquon. And as we know, they haven't showed out either. And I just think that Sean Payton's going to be ready. He's going to be out to prove that the Saints are back, especially being in New Orleans. He's going to want to be beloved by all the fans and all the community, and the city. So he's going to want to show out today. And they're doing it against the perfect team, man, if you think about it. So New Orleans -7 for our survival pick.
Did anybody see the pregame huddle last week with the Saints before they went in? And I forgot who they were playing last week, but Davis, their linebacker, was just talking about, hey, we have the weight of the city on our backs. We all know what happened with the hurricane and all that. So they're playing with all of that energy. Man, you just don't want to be the Giants in this matchup.
No, you don't. Look, hey, shout out to this guy. He knows that I'm filming. I told him to join the show, and he's calling me. Peck, come on, Peck. Isidro Gutierrez. Come on, boy. Why are you calling me? You know we're filming right now, boy.
Justin, what did you like the most about the Saints pick? Was it just the matchup, or did you like that we're saving other teams for the rest of the season?
It came down to me for saving other teams, like the Bills that a lot of people would be on today. There's some schedules when they play the Jets. You want to kind of pick them there. It would be easy pickings against the Texans, I think, as well, but you want to save them. The majority is going to be on them today.
Yep, I like that pick, Justin. I like that reason.
All right, let's move on to the Super Contest.
Hey, this is where the money's at, boys.
Hey, I guess Justin and Ron, you guys are in the lead right now at 5-4. You guys go first. Justin, you go first with your picks, man.
Let's go, Justin. Where you at,
Ron apparently are on the same wavelength today for our first 2 picks. We both got Chiefs and Cowboys. I just went with the Chiefs. I think the Eagles are a really bad team. I am excited about our win last week against them for the Cowboys' sake, but I do have to credit that some of that was being that Jalen Hurts doesn't have the arm strength, and some of those picks and whatnot was attributed to that. I think the Chiefs are going to get back and get right this week and beat up on the Eagles. Cowboys, like Ron said, J.C. Horn's out. I think we're going to continue this momentum that we got going, and I think we win here. 4 is good enough for me. I think we cover that spread. No CMC to look at, and the Panthers. And the Browns is pretty much a pick-em game. I like them to win, so at -1, it didn't hurt to go that way.
Nice. Nice. I like that. I can't
I like
get
that.
much argument from me on any of those picks. I'm on the Cowboys personally, so I like that pick a lot. What about you, Ron?
I'll run through mine real quick. KC -5.5. Look at the teams that they faced, man. They faced the Browns, they faced the Ravens, and they faced the Chargers. So everybody's kind of like, hey, they're 1-2, but look who they're playing. They're playing the elite teams of the league, all right? Andy Reid, a little side note here. Andy Reid was sick. He's back with the team, and guess where he's going? Back to Philly. So he's going back to Philly. I think KC shows out against the team that on Monday night didn't do shit against our boys right here. And our boys, go ahead. What's that?
You want a little trend for your pick, Ron?
Go ahead, pal. Hit me with the trend. Hit me with the trend.
The Chiefs are 8-1-1 against the spread in their last 10 games coming off of Monday night football against teams coming off of Monday night football game.
There it is. There it is, boys.
I
Right
thought you were
there.
going to hit us with the Cowboys one for a second.
I thought you were going to.
We're not there yet.
I thought you were going to talk about how the Chiefs hadn't covered this season yet, Roland. My bad.
They haven't.
So
They're
now-
1-8. They're 1-8-1 against the spread their last 10 games. But Ron's
That's what
on
I thought
them.
you were going to hit him with.
Ron's on them. We're keeping positive vibes only. On
Positive
this podcast,
vibes only.
so I was
Positive
gonna go
Always
vibes.
trends that go both ways, baby.
Yeah,
always
they do.
trends that go both ways.
All right, so after KC, I'm going to go down to the boys right there. You know what it is, -4. Dallas has scored 30 points per game this year. Trayvon Diggs, I think, shuts down DJ Moore. Carolina is out. Justin Boris and JC Horn, their DBs. They faced Zach Wilson. Carolina, they faced Zach Wilson, Jameis Winston, and Mills. So everybody's like, I was up on them last week. That's why I took them, because I was like, Carolina defense that. They're a great rushing defense. But they faced the Jets, the Saints, and the Texans. Now they get a real test in the boys right here in America's team. And I think it goes down. That's why I like Dallas -4. However, I'm going to go with the trends here. Cowboys, 1-9 against winning teams, and 1-6 against the spread in the month of October.
Yep.
So the trends aren't on our favor. But this is a different year. This is a different team. So Dallas -4, my second pick. Dak's healthy, right. So my third pick, as we just talked about, I won't get too much into it, but I do have a few notes right there. New Orleans -7, just like I said. The Giants lost their linebackers. They're on the 4th-string guard. No Slayton, no Shepard. And the Saints are coming home, and there will be a party on Bourbon Street tonight.
I got one more for you. Saints 12-3 against the spread in their last 15 October home games.
Let's go.
That's a good one right there.
There you go.
That is a
and
good
it's
one,
their
bro.
first one of the season at home. Let me get into mine, just because there's a lot of minuses all over the damn screen. I know I went 0-3 last week, but I took all favorites. So I'm going to try and switch it up for Jerry. Jerry, I hope you fade me today. Today is going to go right. I'm going to start off with the one favorite that I have, the Browns -1. I think that the run game, they are going to be able to control that game against Minnesota. The defense for the Browns did show up last week, although it was against the Texans. You know, I expect them to sack Kirk Cousins a couple of times. I'm going to go with Seattle. Full panic mode here. You all know me as a Seattle Seahawks hater, but this is full panic mode for the Seahawks. 1-2 is their record. Big division game. You know, we saw the 49ers drop that Monday nighter in, you know, heartbreaking fashion. Russell Wilson has had a really good record against the 49ers, so I'm going to back the Seahawks and the field goal shit. I wouldn't even mind them losing by 1. That would make my Sunday complete. And then I'm going to take another dog with the Lions here. Fields got named the starter. We saw they had 1 yard passing or negative 1 yard passing last week. Listen, I know that this Detroit defense isn't high and mighty. They're not an elite defense. But the Detroit Lions play like they don't know that they're 0-3. They play pretty damn hard. They're scrappy. Jared Goff does have a chip on his shoulder being traded for Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford being 3-0 and being the talk of the town. MVP talks. DeAndre Swift, heavy dose of DeAndre Swift today. And you know what? The Lions win today. Fucking
I've been trying to trade for Swift, man, but Richie loves him. He won't give him up.
Well, he's a number. Everybody loves that number 4 next to his running back name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. So
the
let me
time you
get
trade for DeAndre Swift, was when he was trending on Twitter for killing the person.
Yeah,
in,
that was a
in the
good.
summer.
What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me get through my 3 picks real quick. I love the Chargers this week. This is a bet that I took early on in the week. I love the Chargers -3. They get the Raiders coming into SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. Not that long of a trek, but the Raiders, they've been in some pretty highly contested games throughout most of the season. I know they kind of I want to say they handled the Steelers, but it still kind of went down to the end. They were never really at threat of losing that game. But the fact of the matter is they've been involved in 3 close contests, including last week. The Raiders are 4-11 against the spread in their last 15 road games after a close game. And they are 3-12 on the road after a straight-up win. So give me all of Justin Herbert this week. I love the Chargers. I know
Herbie baby.
There might be a little bit of a drop-off worry because they're like, hey, they just beat the Chiefs. They're riding on a high. They're going to have a letdown game. But you got to keep in mind the Raiders have had emotional games the first 3 weeks of the season. You got to think that comes to an end. Their good fortune is going to come to an end against the Chargers. The Chargers have a stout defense. You got Derwin James and Bosa back. They've already made their impact felt. And, man, that Chargers offense is humming on all cylinders right now. I love what I see out of that offense. And give me the Chargers -3. I love it. Give me the Rams -4. I don't think the Cardinals really have shown us too much in terms of the competition that they've gone up against. I think this is a big litmus test for the Cardinals to see where they really stack up in the NFL. And I'm already going to be like, hey, I don't believe in them. I had them pegged at 8-9, 9-8 going into the season. And I have a little insider information. Our buddy Robert, who's the big Cardinals fan here, he is not too excited about this game. He's thinking the Rams might expose some flaws that the Cardinals haven't had exposed yet. So I'm going with the Rams. And then my last pick here.
He's talking about Jalen Ramsey shutting down Hopkins. That's what he's talking about.
My last pick, this one I toggled with. I was between 3 teams on this last one. So who knows what happens here. But I'm going to go with the Dolphins -2. I think they're going to beat the Indianapolis Colts at home. The Colts are going to stay winless. The Colts have some injuries on the offensive line. They have some injuries out on the perimeter. And we all know that Carson Wentz, he looked like crap last week trying to play on 2 bum ankles. I don't think that gets much better, especially with the fact that offensive line is not too strong. And the Dolphins are on the other side of that Raiders game last week. They heartbroken. They came all the way back to tie the game. And they ended up
covered the spread,
though. Yeah, covered the spread. That was horrible, man. I had the Raiders in that game.
It was horrible.
Yeah, that was the worst loss of the season. That's because I pushed. Yeah, that was horrible. But anyways, give me the Dolphins here. Jacoby Brissett actually looks a little bit better than Tua, so I don't know what that holds for the rest of the season. Yeah. But give me the Dolphins here, baby, and I'm going 3-0 this week. Let's go.
Oh shit, let's go, boy.
Let's go.
I like that. What do we got? What else
I like it, Edgar. I like it.
Let's get to the parlay of the day.
Who wants to read this one off?
Last week's was a winner, but yeah, I'll go this week. Pretty much, Edgar, here's to answer your question. You thought that the Bucs were going to pipe down the Patriots. I think that the Bucs, that's what he commented. I think that Tom Brady's return is, he's going to make his presence felt. He's going to put the nail in the coffin to, was it Belichick? Was it Brady? We think that the Bucs are going to win. We think that the Chiefs do not go down 3 in a row. They got the Philadelphia Eagles, should be able to get a win. Parlay the Chiefs, parlay the Bucs -135, and kick your feet up, man. Kick your feet up.
Set it and forget it, baby.
Exactly. That's set it and forget it if I've ever seen it.
I like that pick a lot. The only thing I would say is maybe the Bucs in Foxborough, there might be some emotions there for Tom Brady. I mean, undoubtedly there is going to be some. But
are we talking about a rookie quarterback beating Tom Brady in Gillette Stadium?
I'm not saying that that's going to happen. I'm just saying that,
hey Ben, take it down a notch, Ben.
There might be some magic in the air, but I think that Tom Brady is going to take all of that, though.
And Brady's going to tell them all of Mac Jones's tricks. Hey, this is coming. Hey. This is coming.
Facts. I like that.
As long as Godwin hits the end zone, I'm good here. So
Bucs by 6 at least.
Let me get a Stone Cold and give me a hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Rolling.
Teaser of the day. We went down last week. I went with the Eagles. I thought plus 10.5 was going to be pretty safe on the second leg of that teaser, but they got blown the F out by the Cowboys on Monday Night Football. So
That's
that
right,
was
boy.
The first teaser that went down. So we're 2-1 on teasers.
That's what you get for betting against your own squad, Roland.
But hey,
That's
I
what
was
you get.
thinking, hey, 10.5 points. That's a nice little cushion. The Cowboys will win 41-31, and I'm straight. I cashed out, but no, the Eagles couldn't even do that for me. But anyways, let's go with the Saints and the Detroit Lions here. 7-point teaser based on current lines. You can get the Saints down to PK, and you can get the Lions up to plus 10, up from plus 3. You cover the 3 points, you cover the 4, and you cover 7. 3 of the most important numbers in football. So I think that's a pretty safe bet. The Lions have been playing close games throughout. They're 3-0 straight up against the spread. I don't know if that stays true this week. Ben would hope that it does. So I'm going to go with Ben here. Say that it stays true. They go 4-0 against the spread. They cash this teaser. And there's a low total. The total's in the low 40s. Yeah. It's at 41.5 right now. So that's the perfect recipe for a teaser for me when I'm looking at taking a dog. So give me the Saints and the Lions teaser.
Roland, when looking at teasers, do you ever think about maybe a total, or are you always just looking at the side and getting through those key numbers?
I always look at the side and the key numbers. The total, if I'm feeling strong enough about the total, I'll take it straight up. That's really – I use teasers strictly for the side. I understand using it for the total because there are key numbers in totals too. But I use it personally against the side.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah. Ron,
hey, RPO real quick. The RPO, the Ron's parlay option. All right, boys, look, this is just your long shot of the day. You got $5-10, whatever little bet you think that you're going to use, maybe some free play.
This is how you go viral, baby.
This is how you go viral right here. The Dallas -4, we already said why. KC -6.5, we already said why. Seattle, everybody's on Seattle, boys. You know why? Because I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why, too. I'm going to tell you why. The record, bro, the record. Kyle Shanahan, 5-12-1 against the spread as home favorites, 3-12-1 in the regular season, all right? And Seattle's wide receivers are going to eat today, boys. So Seattle plus 2.5, New Orleans -7. We already said why. Baltimore, Lamar going against the clearly overrated Mondo Dukes parlay kid, Denver Broncos.
And a lot of offensive linemen out for the Broncos as well.
Exactly as well. Today we're gonna find out if the Broncos are for real or not. Yep. And I think that they're not. So that's why I'm going with Baltimore +1. Detroit +3. The boys already touched on that one. Washington football team -1 there. And on that one, the D-line versus Matt Ryan. That's all we got to say right there. Washington does still have a solid defensive line. Matt Ryan is washed. He's not mobile, so the defensive line is going to get at him. 12-5 against the spread as home dogs. 1-7 against the spread as favorites, though. So we got to be careful about Washington there, but I still love the pick. And then finally, the New York Jets and my boy, the sleeper of the week, Zachy Wilson, BYU, Jordan Brand, everything you want to throw at him, +7.5, boy. So if you're feeling crazy, if you want to put in a parlay, hey, there it is, bro.
If you want to end up on BR Betting or DraftKings Instagram page, Ron, I wish you would have done. Stupid. I wish you would have done all of these at just money line because I mean you still have dogs sprinkled in there, so you can get plus money on the money line, but. I think that some of these numbers might come into play.
Now, going into it, I mean, that's what I was going to say next. Now, these are just the spreads. If you want to feel super froggy, take all the spreads. However, you can still get money lines here. Dallas at -4, KC still the money line probability. New Orleans, Washington football team. I mean, you can still do that. Or you like my boy Roland. He just covered that he loves teasers with the points, with the sides. So there are books that allow you to do seven game teasers, 10 game teasers. So if you tease all these games too, you're still going to be in plus money, I'm sure.
Diego does that.
Yeah.
Diego puts like 5 teams in his teasers. He does that.
6 points, 5 teams. Yeah, get the chips down to pick them.
There you go.
Cowboys over 0. New Orleans
+2.
1.
Yeah.
You get Baltimore at 7.
Detroit at 10. Yeah.
Yeah. So it can work out. But all right. Yeah. Hey, Ron, if this hits on the debut,
if it hit, you got the Wtbs there. You got the Wtbs here for the RPO first segment because Ben's trends is trending right now. and I got my RPO. So Justin and Roland are gonna. Oh no, we got Roland's teasers.
Teaser of the day.
All right, teaser of the day. So here it is to mine. Justin, you're coming in through next week with your own. So here we go.
Justin will debut next week for sure.
That's it. That's our RPO. What else we got, boys?
That's it. Just
That's our
subscribe.
socials. Just hit us on our socials.
Finish the show with the subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Like Ron said, we were at 41 subscribers on YouTube. Now we're up at 49. Let's get a 50 burger.
Yep, let's get the 50 piece, man. Hey, hook us up. We want to get to 100 subscribers before the year's over. It's October 3rd. We still got about 3 months, man. So we can get to 100 subscribers in 3 months. We'll do a little giveaway. We'll do something. You could find us on Facebook. Clearly, we're there. The page is there. We talking about sports. We talking about sports on Twitter. We're there as well. The YouTube, man. We talking about sports podcast as well. We have little videos. We have short videos. We're gonna do as much as we can. We collaborate too with Becky. Those MMA hours, the tap hour, man. The tap hour went crazy. Edgar, where can we bet?
That's a good one.
You know with the alley-oop?
I know. Hey. Oh shit. The
difficulties.
Damn.
We saw Ron's wearing Crocs.
Thank God wearing shorts.
Nice.
My fucking headphones unplugged and everything.
Ron's wearing jorts and Crocs.
Jerry, thank you, Jerry.
Yep. So
Jerry.
that's where you can find us, guys. That's where you can find us at. Subscribe, like, share. I appreciate it. Bet King Online, you know what it is. Everybody has a Twitter. Promo code WTBS, just so they know that the boys, when we talking about sports, send you there. We appreciate the love, man. Honestly, yeah, we love hanging out with you. The comment section, man. Shout out to all the people that comment. We fucking appreciate that. We love that so much.
That's why we do it.
Let's get it. We killed Thursday Night Football. Let's see if we can continue on in week 4. Let's get this money. Let's beat the book. And anything else y'all got to say before we go?
Hey, enjoy y'all Sundays, man.
Yeah, everybody enjoy their Sunday. Like Ron said, thank you for being in the comments. That's why we do it. We like interacting with everybody. So, yeah, man, keep them coming.
That's the reason for going live and not just pre-recording and dropping it, because, shit, the comments are lit, Sundays and Thursdays. So, yeah, we appreciate everything, man.
I don't got the Crocs. I got the 3-stripe slides. And I'm a Nike boy, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. Check over stripes. Check over stripes. I'm sorry.
And this guy claims to be OBO.
Hey. I got the check on the shorts.
Speaking of Jordan Brand, Dak is a Jordan athlete. Just want to throw that out there, Ron.
He's gonna go out tonight.
And Ron Adidas, because we got Iverson on the screen over here.
21-4. Hey, rep the squad.
Hey, we got that 2-1-4.
There it is. All right. That's it. Justin.
And I'm getting my first win in the We Talking About Sports.
Hey, Jerry, I'm proving you wrong this week, Jerry. All right, I'll see you Thursday,
thank
Jerry.
you for coming in, Jerry. Appreciate
I'll
it.
see you Thursday.
Hey, Justin,
Jerry.
what do we got coming up, Justin? What do we got coming up?
Well, hopefully we get something going for Thursday Night Football. This week there will be no MMA podcast from me and Ben. Unfortunately,
maybe a little recap. Maybe we can do a recap.
Maybe we do a recap, but unfortunately, the card that's coming up, there's just not a lot to play. We did have a UFC last night. Ben's
How did that go? Give us a quick UFC recap, real quick.
Ben's parlay would have hit. Unfortunately, Aspen Ladd
missed
the weight.
But one of the fights got canceled, so it was like a one-legger.
And the no contest.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
And then Nico Price, who was straight, ended up hitting. Justin got hit with the no contest, Roland.
Yeah.
I was on Ladd in a parlay, but she missed weight, so they pulled her fight.
What do you guys feel, real quick, before we go, like 2 seconds? The people in the show,
baby.
The people in the show, yeah, basketball would be cool. The people in the show, if anybody's still watching, comment or us for here. What do you think of MLB now that we're getting into the playoffs? Y'all want to do like an MLB show? What do y'all think?
We might have to do a short show for that for sure. A wild card show, maybe.
Yeah, I know some people who would like some MLB content for sure.
All right. If you guys want to see some MLB content, comment on our YouTube video below or comment to us on Facebook, man. So yeah, and tag us, comment, and share, man. If y'all want some MLB shit, we'll bring you MLB shit. We'll bring you everything, man.
And there is another monster UFC card coming up soon, right?
Oh, we'll be covering it.
Yeah.
Those tap hours, we have 1, 2, 3 plays a week. We'll do a little bit recap, but it has been nice, Justin. chopping up a little bit of UFC, 15 to 30 minutes, once a week.
Ben got robbed pretty heavy with the Douglas Lima and Michael Venom Page. Only in the United Kingdom can decision like that go down. Unfortunately,
I love how Jerry said. Jerry said, "I'll subscribe from my wife's phone for that 50."
Yeah, hey, that's top fan shit.
That's
Jerry.
top fan shit, boy.
That'll get you the badge on Facebook on Webo.
Yeah,
we're promoting Jerry to top fan.
I will. 11:30. You never know. Maybe we'll get freaky. We'll play some. We'll play some plays on our YouTube. Or,
set your fantasy lineups, guys. Go set your fantasy lineups. Get those last minute plays in. And get your spot on the couch.
11:30. Hey, stay tuned though for the 3:00 games and the night game, because even though we're not going to be doing shows, follow us on Twitter, and we're still going to be putting plays for the 3:00 games and for the night game. All right, so don't sleep on that.
At 12 though, baby. Let's go.
Oh, I know. Let's go. I gotta go to fucking Aguilar's and get that meat, boy.
You're late to that, Ron. You're gonna miss kickoff, partner.
I know. Fuck it.
One last thing, guys. On our Twitter, on our Facebook, if you want to leave a comment, the pages are open. We will interact with you through there. You can even start your own post on those pages, and we will comment through them. If there's something going on live in the game that you want to talk about, post a comment through there, and one of us will hit you up and interact with you. Thank you all for this Sunday. Enjoy your Sunday.
Let's go, baby.